Joining me is Nationals frontbencher Barnaby Joyce, the former Deputy Prime Minister. Barnaby Joyce, is Tony Burke right that, look, the bosses of DP World should have just negotiated with the unions directly and not come crying to him?
No, we are an island nation. We don't have railway lines into Singapore or railway lines into Europe or a road into Houston and Texas. So the ports have incredible powers. Now, I don't know whether your listeners know what sort of money these people are on, but the Maritime Union of Australia is it is good at its job at getting people paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. It has the highest paid workforce where you can't get in unless you're a union rep. In fact, in many instances, you can't get in unless you're related to someone who's already working there. It's like a little unionised royal family. And Tony Burke has gone out there to defend them. Now, I suppose they're entitled to fight for even more money. They're on a lot more money than the vast majority of all listeners, the people watching this. Believe you me, they will put you to bed with the money they're earning. But they also believe it's their right to hold up our nation's commerce. If we don't have those ports operating, we all become poorer. Because look at what you're wearing, your shirt, your car, your fuel, look around your kitchen where I am at the moment. It's all coming on a boat from overseas, and the only way we make money is when we put stuff on a boat and send it the other direction. And these people are closing down the boats.
Yeah, I mean, Tony Burke's cheap shot. Oh, well, they should be paid as much as they're being paid in other port, by other employers in other ports. Yeah, but the point is, Patrick's, who's talking about, they can do that because they've got better workplace productivity rules in place. If the workers want to give up, do that as well, fine. But if if you want to drive your employer broke, go your hardest, and we'll all suffer. Barnaby, I want to go back to the earlier issue I talked about tonight. The government's saying Ukraine can't have our Taipan helicopters; they're too unsafe, and it would rather bury them in the dirt than hand them over. Fair enough?
Outrageous. I mean, imagine it was the Styres, and we decided the Styres were better buried in the ground than defending a democratic country from basically a new form of totalitarian imperialism, where they just invade you at their whim. We are going to bury a helicopter. If it's not perfect, I tell you what, it's better than having to walk out and meet your enemy. It's better than having to walk back. Even if it crashes, it's probably better. Your odds are better than what's going to happen to you. You get shot to pieces because you just don't have access to the front line. Now, the risk to us, well, our alternative to this airframe, rotary airframe, is to bury it in the ground. And you couldn't, Andrew, you couldn't write about this stuff. It is barking mad. And it's yet another metaphor for what this government's about. It is just, it's lunacy. It's lunacy.
Barnaby, for me, it's not just that it's a bad decision. It's a lunatic decision that they can't explain. And it's going to this picture now of a government that is irrational and simply incompetent, worse than Whitlam, as I predicted when they first got elected. Barnaby, just quickly, your wife, Vicky, says she went to buy a new ute for your farm this week. Hit a problem, all caused by the Climate Change Minister, Chris Bowen. What happened?
Well, we've got this new nirvana. We're running around chasing Europe. We're very blessed. We've got about 9,000 acres here. An average farm in Europe is about 50 acres. Now, an electric vehicle or one of these new vehicles is just not suited to the work we do, whether it's carrying chemicals, whether it's carrying spare parts. And we're not as big as grain farms. They are going to bring in a new fuel standard for which you cannot buy the vehicle that new fuel standard uses. It's unbelievable. We rang up agents and they said we just don't sell them. So we've got a new standard. See, the almighty Chris Bowen and the great new virtuous cabal out there in Canberra, They've got the brief from the department. Oh, we'll do this. This is great. This will work in Annandale. Here we go. Sign it up. And then out here in the boondocks, we go, well, let's try and buy one of these things. You can't. They're not for sale.